This is what we're dealing with today. It's not too bad. I was hoping originally to get the rest of this done today. I don't know if that is possible, but I will try my best. Yeah, so let's do this. I'm sorry that last part was in portrait view. I kind of forgot what I was doing. I'm just gonna be holding the camera for this. I was gonna sit down, but it's like super dusty, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm just in my basement. This probably won't be a long video because I can't sit. Yeah, probably not like super quality, but I wanted to keep packing, but everyone's asleep and I feel like I'm making too much noise and everyone has work tomorrow, so I don't want to like keep people up. So I just like decided to like come down here and show you what was up. It's funny because I used to, like back in like high school and like, I don't know, like I guess college too, we used to have like phone conversations like later at night. Maybe it was like college or like end of high school. And I would come sit down here so I wouldn't keep anyone up, and I would just like sit in my basement and we would talk for like an hour or two. So I guess this is the last time that we're doing that, sort of, in a way. Because I won't have a basement for much longer, but yeah, it's pretty crazy down here. I didn't realize it was this crazy. Like I said, I can hear all of the water. I thought I'd be able to like sit. But yeah, I was gonna do my video tomorrow morning and then like put it out tomorrow night, but I decided that since I wasn't gonna sleep anyway, I could just do this. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably, no, I'm good to stand here. I'm sorry if it's like super wobbly though. Yeah, I guess like I had all day to do this video and I didn't because I didn't know what to talk about. The only thing I had was, I actually really liked your One Direction makeup. I thought it was really cool. I mean, like, maybe not as good as your makeup now, but I'm always a big fan of that, like, under eyeliner. It's my inner scene kid coming out. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, change and stuff, but that's so, like, melodramatic, and I wanted to, like, do, like, a packing video, but I decided that I would much prefer to do an unpacking video, because then I, like, don't know what's in the boxes, and I'm, like, deciding where to put things, and that's, like, fun. I just have a lot to pack. I was kind of hoping that I would finish packing today, but I got, like, a slow start, because I, like, just was not in the mood, but I had to, so I did, like, my first day of packing, or like my first like full day and like small bits of day packing. I got like my whole, like my boxes from the attic, my closet, and like some of under my desk. So I finished my whole desk pretty much. I still have like some like technology stuff that I don't feel comfortable packing, like my external hard drive and all my cords that I might need, but what was I gonna say? Oh, and I like started on my shelves, but I still have like my top shelf with my like big, I don't know if you like noticed it, but I have a big like Minnie Mouse and like a Zatanna, and they're like big, so they didn't fit in my like knickknacks box. But I also have like a bunch of stuffed animals in my bookcase, so I think I'm gonna like balance it out so I can have like some books and some stuffed animals, so it's not too heavy. And then I just have like my dresser and like my clothes, which is like a big thing, but it's not hopefully too bad because this is my last day off before we're supposed to be moved, except for like I think the last day I have off too maybe, so that's good because like any last minute things, I'm still like hoping that I won't have to recruit you guys, but I am doing all the stuff that I need to go through first and like leaving all the stuff that is just like take out and put in box till the end in case I need extra help. Like my bookshelf, I'm like leaving till the very end, and my walls, because you just need to like take it off the walls. And you just need to like put books in a box. So I'm like, if I run out of time on my own, those things are things that people can actually help me with. Also, I like kind of forgot in all of this, but this basement is definitely haunted. I keep hearing noises. And I mentioned it to my mom, and she said my dad, who's like not superstitious, also kind of has a creepy feeling in this basement. And she was saying that like even though like we're only the second people to own this house, the man, the husband of the lady who sold us the house, he did die. And we don't know if it was like in the house or if he had like a heart attack in the house, and it could have been in the basement. So it could be a ghost. But he's not angry, at least, that we're wrapping up the basement, I hope. Yeah, it's kind of, the hardest thing today, actually, I had to, like, box up all my art supplies, and it's just, like, so hard, because that's, like, resigning myself to not, like, using any of them for at least a month. And I know, like, I haven't used my, like, markers and my color pencils and my paints and my watercolors, which are paints, in, like, a while because of school. But, like, usually, like, in the summer, like, I was packing, and I found my bag of, like, glitter glue that I bought last year, specifically for Mermaid, and it's, like, Mermaid again. And that means, like, I won't get to do, like, watercolor mermaids, and at least I'm, like, keeping my tablet out. But it's, like, nice to have traditional art. So I have, like, one sketchbook I'm keeping out. Yeah, it's, like, it's just, like, interesting. Like, my art is pretty hard, but I keep, like, finding art, and I keep, like, I have, like, a folder, like you said, like, it's kind of, like, a big folder, but it also has all my, like, postcards and all my, like, calendars. I kept every calendar I've ever owned since 2005. So I went through all of them and just cut out my favorite pictures, and I have, like, postcards everywhere, and, like, my posters are gonna go in the same, like, it's, like, a kind of, like, it's the same portfolio case I use for my Sheridan portfolio, pretty much. So, like, the first couple pages, I've, like, put in things by, like, era, and, like, each pocket has, like, a bunch of stuff, like, per era. Not, like, a bunch, like, it's not, like, a whole lot. It's more than you probably would keep, but it's not, like, piles and piles of sketchbooks. And I threw out most of my notebooks, but some of them, I feel like so bad if they're, like, half full, and I know I won't, like, use them, but they're, like, half full, and I'm like, someone could use this, but you can't, like, donate a half full notebook. So I threw out, like, all my notebooks that I wasn't, like, actually using, except for, I had one in middle school. I think you've probably heard this before, but in middle school, this, like, whole thing happened, and I, like, didn't have any, like, friends or anyone to talk to, and I was super, like, upset all the time, and just, like, I would just, like, write my story constantly. And I've never even, like, told you about the story. I barely remember what it's about, but I know it's, like, there's lots of, like, weird stuff. It's about this, like, so stupid. The main character, like, wakes up, and they wake up in, like, a hospital room, and it's, like, empty, and they have, like, insomnia, and they don't know who they are, or, like, they know, like, what, like, trees are and, like, what rooms are, but they don't know, like, anything about their past, or, like, who they are at all, and they, like, wake up, and it's, like, told in, like, first-person perspective, and it's not, like, well-written, but I think the story, like, is, like, kind of still cool, and I would actually like to, like, thoroughly go through it and, like, read it again if I don't cringe too hard, and, like, see if I can, like, have a shot at redesigning the characters, because I remember what the character designs look like, except for, like, the main character. I don't know if you ever, like, see them, or even, like, know their gender. It was probably a boy, because I usually, like, it's funny, because I only ever drew girls, for the most part, but I just wrote boys, and I still, like, mostly just write boys, actually. But yeah, he's, like, or they're, like, they wake up in a hospital bed, and they, like, freak out, and they, like, explore this, like, abandoned, like, hospital, and I don't know if it was, like, a mental hospital or not, but they're, like, in a hospital gown, and they, like, come out, and they're in this, like, abandoned town, and it's all this, like, broken graffiti, and, like, broken windows, and it's, like, abandoned, and they, like, walk through, and there's this, like, big forest, and they go towards the forest, because they, like, recognize it, but also, like, not, you know what I mean, like, they're like, this is, like, deja vu, kind of, so they go to the forest, and they find this, like, circus. I used to, like, also looking through my old art, like, everything was, like, circus, and, like, like Victorian circus, or, like, steampunk circuses, I'm like thinking maybe it's not great for me to be down here actually without a gas mask. I hope I don't die. But yeah, I might be dying. Hashtag YOLO. But yeah, they find this like circus. And I don't know how like far I got into that, but I remember like the characters, like there are these two twins, because I was also obsessed with twins. And they were kind of like, they're like the allies of the main character, and there was like all this stuff. But everyone in the circus either had like magic or they could like shapeshift, and the twins like shapeshifted into Arctic foxes. Because it's like, and you like learn as the story goes on that it like takes place like, it's like sci-fi, but it's like steampunk kind of. And like all the people in the circus are from like different planets, and like the planet they're on right now isn't like Earth, but it was like pseudo like a recreation Earth, and like everyone's trying to find Earth, like in all sci-fi. Not like all sci-fi, but a lot of sci-fi. And there's just like all these like different like, they're like aliens, but they're like animal kind of like aliens, and they're all like Earth like derived. And there's this like traveling circus, and like they have this big like their tent like turns into a spaceship, I think, or they have like a separate spaceship, but it's all like beaten and broken down. And it's like pretty like juvenile, like it like has all of the things that I used to like as a youth, but like just in the format, like all together. But I think it would be cute to like, I drew the twins a lot. I think it would be cool to like design some of those characters, but like thinking of it, they probably be like furries, so maybe not. But yeah, I kept that notebook. But yeah, it's like, and like my knickknacks, I threw some of them out, and I donated some of them because some of them I like don't need, even though I want. And I'm like thinking as I like threw each one out that just makes more room for more knickknacks later on in my life. So I'm like throwing like my old like McDonald's toys and stuff, but it's hard. I kind of like, I know I collect everything, but it's like hard seeing the physical proof in such like a small amount of time. Like I know I have my like beautiful like packaging garbage box, and I didn't throw any of that out. But like going through other boxes, I like, for instance, I collected like obviously like markers and pencils, like, and not just like nice ones, but like Crayola ones that are like worn down, and like pencils that I like to the outside of, and broken things. I have so many broken things. I had like a penny collection. I had a collection of like paint chips. I had a sticker collection and a temporary tattoo collection, and then a separate collection of just sheets of stickers without stickers on them. So it was just like the outside, because I couldn't bear to throw it out and like eat everything. I haven't gone through my rock and shell collection yet, but I think I'll probably have to go through that soon, and like go through all my like stones, and it's hard. But I've definitely like have a consistent like not issue, but like a consistent something. And I did keep some of my collections that are like meaningful, but I threw like a lot of them out. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't like throwing things out. I don't like being like, well, this has no like use anymore, because I think things like continue to have a use, even if it's not the use you originally thought. And I think that's the hardest part, and I think that's like one of the big reasons that I like keep everything, is because I don't like if someone's like put effort into like the outside of something, or like the parts that people usually throw out. Like I have like every single, oh, this is another thing, I almost did this in a video, but I packed them in a bag. I had every single card that I've like ever got, pretty much. I had them like all. And I had a lot from like elementary school friends, and they were just like written on paper. And I had a lot like of like Hallmark ones from like my grandparents and my parents and everything. And I was like going through them, and I'm like, I want to keep all of these because they have such like sweet things in them. And I decided to like keep anything that had like a note in it, because my grandma like writes me notes, and most of those are on my bulletin board, but I had some of them just like in the card still, or that were like on the card. So like any note that my grandma had written me, I was keeping, and any like homemade card. And I made an exception for all the elementary school ones, because all these people like, a lot of these people, like, fucking, like, they didn't turn on me, but, like, they kind of did, and they, like, my friends in elementary school who wrote, like, such sweet things about me became, like, said, like, really terrible things about me in high school, and I, like, didn't really want to keep that, but I found, like, every card you've ever made for me, and some of them were really funny, and I kept them all, though, like, I didn't throw those ones out. I threw out all the, like, store-bought ones, and all the, like, elementary school ones, but I kept all the ones that you've, like, given me, so, like, once upon a time, one day I'll, like, go through and show you all of them, but, yeah, I just, like, keep those. Like, I keep things because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm like a magpie and I just, like, make my nest. My room is, like, my nest, and I make it with all these things I like, but I don't know, I just don't like being like, this is, like, broken, so I should throw it out. I'm like, this is broken, so it should go in my collection of other broken things that I look at sometimes. I don't know, I don't think that's normal. That probably is, like, textbook hoarder, but yeah, I hopefully only have, like, a couple more, like, passes to do, and hopefully I will be, like, okay to finish it without any, like, assistance, but I think that's it. I think that's, like, all my thoughts. I don't really have, like, a cohesive, everything's so, like, sketchy that, like, I'm, like, moving and I have, like, no time, but I feel like when this week is over and when I finally, like, have, like, everything gone out of my room, I'll have, like, time to do things, because I won't be, like, packing in, like, such a short amount of time that nobody knew it was going to be that short until, like, a couple days ago. But before I finish my video, and I leave this place where I can barely breathe, I have a poem, because it's May, and it's mermaid, so I'm gonna say a mermaid poem, and I promise to you, and I'm gonna promise this, and I'm gonna follow through, that I will finish that fucking mermaid before the end of May. And I'm keeping my tablet, and I'm keeping my computer, and I'm not packing any of those. And I have the file on my external hard drive, and I'm keeping that out. So there should be no excuse. Because I have, like, a month, and it'll only take till the end of the week to finish this packing. So you will have a finished mermaid by the end of May, I promise. But for now, I will read you a poem from my favorite poetry book by Ash Vernon, and the poem is called Metropolitan Mermaids. You have dreams some nights where great sea monsters with salt-slick skin and teeth like the masts of ships come hulking from the water in silent, slippery schools. Their eyes, colder than their blood, they wrap their scaled and suckered claws around your wrists and sing the kind of siren song that leaves sailors lost at sea. The beasts in your dreams are soft, like the silken backs of men o' war. They grip your arms and drag you under. You are afraid to breathe, but you do not drown. Tentacled, toothy terrors push mollusks into your trembling hands and sing you the kind of love songs only the ocean ever hears. You awake a gilled and gutted thing, beached and lonely. You wake looking for the kind of love you knew beneath the water. You fear you will not find it here. You have the ocean in your lungs. You have the voice to drag men under. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go upstairs and try and go to bed. But I love you, and I will see your video on Sunday, and hopefully hopefully this is the last, like, stressed out, unplanned, shitty video. Fingers crossed. But I love you, and I will see you soon.